Wait a minute! Phineas and Ferb!
Welcome to MsMojo. Today, we're taking a look at the careers of our favorite Phineas and Ferb cast members following the show's conclusion.
It's time for Dr. D to be front and center, baby! Hit it!
Malik Pancholi, Baljeet Tajinder.
Suddenly I am not feeling so fresh.
Prior to playing the absolute King Baljeet, Pancholi was known as Sanjay Patel in long-running dark sitcom Weeds. Not only this, he had a main role as Jonathan in 30 Rock.
Can't live if living is without you.
Okay, last verse, Jonathan.
I can't live.
This meant Baljeet was his first and only major voice acting role. Easily the most celebrated aspect of his career is his literature. In 2019, his debut novel, The Best at It, hit shelves, which was a wonderful coming-of-age story about a gay Indian-American boy.
I wrote a book, as you said, that came out last year, and we're adapting it for television right now. I actually have a copy of it right here. So I've been doing a lot of writing over the break, also working on a second book.
3 years later, his second novel, Nikhil Out Loud, became even more celebrated. It's about teenage theater kids fighting bigotry. A tale so widely adored, he won the 2023 Lambda Literary Award for middle grade literature.
Well, you know how the TV world works. Like, everything is still in development, but we're hoping to turn it into a family comedy that focuses around the kid, of course, but also around his parents and his supportive community. He's got a grandfather in the book who's one of my favorite characters, who's turns out to be like his best friend in the books.
Caroline Ray, Linda Flynn Fletcher.
Hey kids, what's new?
Nothing, Mom. Absolutely nothing is new.
Well, your hair sure looks new. I like it.
Ray's career goes back to the 80s when she debuted as Beach Girl No. 4 in Meatballs 3's Summer Job. She managed to land way better roles in the 90s, becoming famous for being Hilda Spellman in the hit series Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Well, being adopted certainly explains my feelings of rootlessness and emptiness.
I didn't know you felt rootless and empty.
Well, why would you? You and Mother obviously don't share my genetic tendency towards empathy.
Around the time it ended, she even got a daytime talk show, but this only lasted about a year. In the past 10 years, she's done extensive work as a panelist in Match Game, The Blame Game, and Funny You Should Ask.
Sherlock Holmes and his friend Watson were bachelors and roommates.
Well, I think we solved that mystery.
Interestingly, Linda's husband Lawrence was played by Richard O'Brien, the creator of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, who nowadays rarely gets involved in show business.
I think perhaps you better both come inside.
Bobby Gaylor, Buford von Stom.
Yeah, main title, whatever. But I think I see the potential. Like, you could use them to make a giant birthday paddle.
Or a telescope.
Buford was initially the local bully, who later became a close friend of the gang and a fan favorite. He was voiced by Bobby Gaylor, who primarily works as a writer rather than a voice actor. Gaylor wrote a few episodes of Phineas and Ferb and has also written a fair few for SpongeBob in his time. Buford returned in one episode of Milo Murphy's Law, and of course 2020's Candace Against the Universe.
If you think you're going to an alien planet without us, you're even crazier than Candace.
In the mid-2010s, he worked on The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, writing for them briefly, along with appearing in 6 episodes. Interestingly, he's also a musician, not only performing on Phineas and Ferb, but even writing an album, Fuzzatonic Scream.
So Debbie, wherever you are, thanks for that memory.
Mitchell Musso, Jeremy Johnson. Musso had a major role as Oliver Oaken in Hannah Montana before playing Jeremy, Candace's love interest. In 2010, he played King Brady Parker in Disney's sitcom Pair of Kings, which ran until about 2013.
Curse you and your lovable face. Come on, Brady, it's not that big of a deal. We were practically tied.
And I'm sure there was a margin of error.
Look, I don't know who Margin is, but you're darn tootin' that she made an error.
Around the same time, he became the host for Prank Stars, a short-lived reality prank show. Unfortunately, Musso was arrested in October 2011 for driving under the influence. This got him removed from both series, but he kept playing Jeremy until 2014.
You came back early!
Well, I missed my girlfriend.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Besides, you forgot something in France.
I did? What?
This.
After his arrest, he began to act less and wouldn't return to the Disney Channel until 2016 for Milo Murphy's Law. Here, he reprised the role of Jeremy, alongside voicing Wally.
It's me, Jeremy. We just met, like 10 minutes ago. You know about the weird glowing junk by the dumpster? It seemed to be making people act strange. We already talked about this.
Wait, did I order food before?
Yeah, that's when we met.
Recently, his most famous project is easily Candace Against the Universe. Allison Stoner, Isabella Garcia Shapiro.
That every day I'm just dying to see ya.
Since the early 2000s, Stoner has been a Disney icon. You probably know them from the Cheaper by the Dozen series, or maybe The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, That's So Raven, or Drake and Josh. Besides voicing Isabella, one of their most famous cartoon roles was Opal in The Legend of Korra.
Opal? That's a beautiful name.
Thanks.
I'm Bolin.
Opal, but you already knew that.
They've also returned for the Phineas and Ferb creators' most recent shows Milo Murphy's Law and Hamster and Gretel.
Well, hurry up. I want to ruin Bethany's life with this text, and I've got like no bars here.
If you play Kingdom Hearts, you might recognize them as the voice of Kyrie from 2008 onwards. Outside of acting, Stoner is an acclaimed dancer, even once appearing in an Eminem music video.
Boy, shake that thing. Oops, I mean girl. Girl, you know you're my world. All right, now.
D. Bradley Baker, Perry the Platypus. The voice of Perry could be the most celebrated actor in the series' main cast. The amount of cartoons he's worked on is so huge, he could get his own video.
You can open up the chambers in your throat to make it larger. You can modify the column of air.
He's played multiple SpongeBob side characters since its creation, like Squilliam and Bubble Bass. Baker did the same for the Fairly OddParents and Samurai Jack, plus numerous Scooby-Doo shows.
Shh. Hear that? The owl is near.
This is barely the tip of the iceberg. He's a legend in the cartoon industry. He's also done the voices for a whole bunch of Ben 10's aliens, plus Avatar's most adorable characters Appa and Momo. Star Wars fans will know him for playing Captain Rex and the Clone Troopers in almost every Star Wars animation.
He's wound tight, but he's loyal. He kind of reminds me of you. Maybe back in the day.
Dan Povenmire, Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz. Did you know the voice actor for Dr. Doofenshmirtz co-created the series alongside Jeff Swampy Marsh?
Would you be willing to say Perry the Platypus in your Dr. Doofenshmirtz voice? I think the audience and ourselves would really appreciate it.
Well, what I usually say is, a platypus? Perry the Platypus, because I don't recognize him unless he has his hat on.
The pair frequently worked together, and Swampy also provided the voice of Major France's Monogram. Before Phineas and Ferb, Povenmire worked on Hey Arnold, The Simpsons, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Upon finishing Phineas and Ferb, he and Marsh created Milo Murphy's Law, another Disney series beginning in 2016. It ran until 2019, featuring the talents of both Weird Al and Sabrina Carpenter.
I ordered this from a company online. They make skis and crutches.
You really are prepared for everything on that list.
3 years after its conclusion, Povenmire produced Hamster and Gretel, a currently ongoing show where he reprised the role of Doofenshmirtz. Of course, Phineas and Ferb returned for Candace Against the Universe and will return in the 2025 reboot.
Oh, that's just Norm. He's usually harmless. Are you guys aliens?
Ashley Tisdale, Candace Flynn. Back in the 2000s, Tisdale was a Disney legend, playing the role of not only Candace Flynn, but also Maddie in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and Sharpay Evans in the High School Musical franchise.
Troy, this could change your life!
I'm more interested about what my friends think of me, and what I think of myself.
Oh, we could all hold hands around the campfire some other time. Right now, we've got a show to do.
While she hasn't reprised the latter two roles, Candace made a comeback in the 2020 movie Candace Against the Universe. Outside of Disney, she's released 3 studio albums, the third called Symptoms, which dropped in 2019.
Talk is cheap. This is the last time I listen to the voices in my head.
She's also recently released a new hair care line called Being Frenchie, diversifying her profile even more. This decade, she's had a relatively limited filmography, probably because she's had 2 children in the 2020s.
I was pregnant developing it, and so it does feel like it was, birthing another baby.
How did you come up with the idea and the name? What's the name of it?
Yeah, so my married name is Ashley French, and so I created a platform, a wellness platform called Frenchie, which was my journey into living a cleaner lifestyle.
Thomas Brodie-Sangster, Ferb Fletcher.
Well, don't just stand there. Kiss her!
The voice actor for one of the 2 titular characters has had a huge career. As a child, he starred in both Love Actually and Nanny McPhee, which earned him the fame that landed Ferb.
Mrs. Quickly, we're very sorry about the tea you had with our father.
After the show's conclusion, he had a major role in Game of Thrones seasons 3 and 4, helping Bran come into his own. In 2015, he played Ralph Sadler in Wolf Hall, a historical drama about the life of Thomas Cromwell, a prominent Tudor figure. Sangster's been in tons of other shows and movies, like Maze Runner and Thunderbirds Are Go.
Were you a big fan of Virgil, so you're a bit jealous that you didn't get to see Virgil?
I always liked Virgil as a kid. I thought he was the cool one. Thunderbird 2 is the cool, heavy lifting one. So he was always my favourite, yeah.
All things considered, Ferb is one of the more minor roles in his career.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Vincent Martella, Phineas Flynn.
That's it! I know what we're gonna do today.
While Martella is most widely known as Phineas, he has had a relatively diverse career outside of it. Before Phineas, he was better known as Greg Wooliger from Everybody Hates Chris between 2005 and 2009.
I think I'm gonna boil it, that way it won't break. You'd boil your child? Man, you're taking this way too seriously. I think this project is great. It's just like life.
The show was unusually popular in Brazil, causing him to hilariously gain millions of Brazilian followers. In 2024, he returned for the sequel series. In 2010, he gave his voice to the character Hope Estheme in the Final Fantasy XIII trilogy. His most recent major role was as Jason Todd, also known as Robin in both Batman Under the Red Hood and Batman Death in the Family.
20 rounds a second and you were still too slow.
Outside of this, he's had a plethora of minor roles, like Patrick in The Walking Dead.
Mr. Dixon, I just wanted to thank you for bringing that deer back yesterday. It was a real treat, sir, and I'd be honored to shake your hand.
What do you want to see most in the new Phineas and Ferb revival series? Let us know in the comments below.
The chosen one is in the house! Isn't she just the best?
Yes, she is the best.